Welcome to Feature Fridays. My name is Guy Bartram. I'm Product Marketing Director in our Cloud Infrastructure Business Unit at VMware. And today I'm joined by Sashi Batts. Sashi, give yourself an introduction for those who haven't seen you before in Feature Fridays.
Sure. Hi, Guy and everyone. I am Sachi. I'm Technical Product Manager with VMware. I'm focusing on the developer-ready cloud products for VMware Cloud Director. And today we are here to talk about App Launchpad.
Absolutely. And App Launchpad 2.1, which is the latest version. When was 2.1 released, Sashi?
Back
in October, wasn't it?
End of October, yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. And it's brought a number of cool features with it. So it's not a huge release, is it? But what it does have is very much asked for from what I can remember. Do you want to dive straight into it, Sashi?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. As you rightly mentioned, App Launchpad 2.1 is not very feature-heavy release, but it definitely addresses a lot of feedbacks and introduces a lot of new continued functionalities to what we have today. So just to give you a high-level overview, on the front end, customer will see the same thing, single click function for App Launchpad for the customers, and catalog management and cloud marketplace integration from provider admin point of view. But behind the scenes, we are adding a lot of functionalities. The first one is that we are, I'll first talk about what we had in App Launchpad 2.0. So in App Launchpad 2.0, we introduced the cloud marketplace integration. So within VMware Cloud Director Provider Portal, we would authenticate our VCD to communicate to Cloud Marketplace and show the whole catalog at fingertip of provider admin within VCD portal. Yep. And we also added support for Helm repositories on the provider portal. So they had control over publishing the container-based apps. And in the tenant portal, we introduced container deployment capabilities. So existing Kubernetes clusters would be used that are deployed from container service extension. And we could deploy any containers from the tenant portal. So that's what we had in App Launchpad 2.0. In this release, we are enhancing the experience for the providers, where the VMware Cloud Director portal can be anywhere in the dedicated cloud or private cloud settings. So we don't really need a public FQDN or IP to connect to Cloud Marketplace to pull in the VM-based applications.
Okay, so we're going to go through later how that actually happens now then.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And for the tenant admin, the tenant portal, we have introduced, or I should say, empowered a tenant admin persona. They have a lot of added capabilities about looking at the usage of the applications that are running in the customer's portal through App Launchpad, as well as they can look at what applications are deployed, and then they can launch applications through their catalog as a tenant admin. And for the tenant user, we have added extra filters to localize the application deployment experience for the tenant users. We will walk through these components in detail in slides as well as in the demo.
Okay, cool. I won't ask any questions yet then.
Okay, so next up. So these are the main features that is for the provider admin role, where, as I said, first, we can now have VMware Cloud Director in private settings. So earlier we used to have a requirement that VCD must require a public IP to connect to Cloud Marketplace to fetch VM-based applications. Now that dependency has been removed. So instead of our VCD being the target for cloud marketplace, we are simply pulling the applications from the cloud marketplace. So it's not required that your VCD be in public settings. So we don't require a proxy or anything for VM catalogs to be pulled.
Yeah, the VCD still needs connection to the internet to be able to connect to the cloud marketplace and pull down. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
outbound internet connection is required just like any other application. It's not completely air-gapped environment, but we still need some connection, like outbound connection to cloud marketplace, but not necessarily inbound to VCD. So,
Right. So it used to be like a push, didn't it? You make the request and it would push down. So now
yeah.
it's a pull from the remote site.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So
And
that's going to be quite useful for cloud providers who have got secure areas, and they obviously they're quite happy to have outbound traffic going out to dedicated domain names or however they're going to restrict it, but they didn't want that inbound traffic coming from somewhere where it wasn't recognized perhaps.
exactly.
Okay, so that will help with things like sovereign cloud and networks where high security is a major play and a major factor.
Yes. The next update is about Kubernetes containers and like modern applications. So earlier, when in the previous releases, if a customer is using their routed network settings within the customer organization, um, we would have to, as a provider admin, we had to manually go and set the access IP for that Kubernetes cluster to facilitate the container deployment for the customer organization. Now we are removing that dependency, or now we are automating that in a way that App Launchpad is going to look at the external IP of the Kubernetes cluster that's been created within the customer organization. It's read-only operation, and it's not going to make any changes in the customer setting. It's just reading the IP so that it can reach out to that particular Kubernetes cluster's access IP, and then tenant users would be able to deploy these applications on the fly as soon as the cluster is available.
Okay.
Yeah. So that removes a major maintenance step from the provider admin's place. So it's going to be very smooth experience in case a provider wants to offer Kubernetes as a service, as a end-to-end solution, being from providing the Kubernetes as a service to deploying the containers through App Launchpad.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And that supports both networking platforms, NSXT as well as NSXV. So that's very powerful and very useful for provider admins who are using both kind of network settings.
Yeah.
And fourth one is we added additional fields to the settings for the provider. So if they are to introduce any customized text or any information related to their applications, they can create that customized description and publish it to all the applications that are being published to customer organizations. So you can either publish it as a text to the details of the application, or you can send a message while user is going to launch that application.
Oh, right. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah. So it's basically a way of customizing the description in the catalog.
Yes.
And if the user is actually deploying that application, it's pushing that, what is it, a description to
Yeah, we will look at it on the demo. So basically, if I'm launching any WordPress app and then I have some extra content from my provider, I would see it at the time of launching that application, that,
Oh,
hey,
I
by
see.
the way, these
Yeah.
are the some of the aspects of, like, whatever use case provider would have, they can describe it at any point.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's quite
Uh,
cool. So they could customize their own applications. But say, for example, they wanted to highlight that, you know, by deploying this particular type of application, there might be a charge associated with it. So they might want to highlight that at the actual runtime of the deployment.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But, so this is available to all applications regardless of catalogs or customer organization. It's a description that you can publish overall as an overall message to customers.
Got it.
And so these are the high level updates for the provider admin role, and this is for the tenant admin role. We have added lot of new capabilities for a tenant admin, because tenant admin role is someone who is also going to monitor the usage of all the applications being run in the customer organization. So we, just like a provider dashboard, we have introduced a new dashboard for tenant users, especially for the tenant admin role. And they will be able to see all the usage of all the applications, container, even the runtime of total runtime of all the applications within their organization. So it's very powerful because you can see it over a period of like, analyze it from say 1 day to 30 day to months of usage on the dashboard, and make a analysis out of it, or
Yeah.
however you would like to use it. And second is tenant admin also can customize their tenant portal. So they can customize the banner page or the message of the customer organization, theme of the app launchpad, launching pad, launch page, and things like that. Uh, for the regular users, we have added a new filter for a catalog. So if I'll just talk about a use case. So I have a VMware Cloud Director in multi-site setting. I'm managing multiple sites for different locations. And as an end user, when I'm logging into VCD to App Launchpad portal, now I can select which catalog I want to launch the application from. So as a provider, if I'm creating these catalogs based on location name or site name, it's very easy for end user to just locate their site and then launch application within the vicinity. So
Okay.
end user will have a idea where the application is being launched based on the catalog name, as well as it will remove lot of restrictions, or we should say, like I'm sitting in California and I don't want to deploy an application in Australia. If I have a location closer to me, I would prefer to launch my application closer to me. So,
and I guess then you could also, you got it next, right? Filter deployment applications by tenant org. So yeah, so
yeah.
it's just like a whole load of filtering capability. But yeah, I really like the one about the catalog filter and being able to filter by region. That's really handy.
Yeah. So it's just one filter, but it adds a lot of power to end user to decide where you want to deploy your application to. So these are main enhancements or new features we added in App Launchpad 2.0. I would like to give you two more updates. One is for the both of them are for provider admin. First one is support for the catalogs or backward compatibility of the cloud marketplace connection. So remember we talked about push versus pull mechanism for VMware Cloud Director connecting to cloud marketplace. So this is also backward compatible in a way that existing catalogs will continue to be functional from App Launchpad for providers. But if you want to leverage this new feature, you can create new catalog, and that new catalog will be running in the pull mode, where
Okay.
you don't have the dependency.
So is there a choice now, or is it just all going to be pull from this point onwards?
It's by default pull. I don't think there will be a choice.
Okay. And do you get to schedule the frequency of the pull?
We are not exposing the synchronization of frequency today. It's a pre-built function of App Launchpad service, or I should say extension. We are not going to expose that as of now. And next one is the upgrade support. So now ALP user can upgrade App Launchpad extension by using the ALP upgrade command. And so for that, you just need to, just like install use case, you just need to fetch the RPM from official VMware download site. We use the ALP upgrade command, provide the credentials, and then restart the App Launchpad service. So it's like one-step process to upgrade the App Launchpad
So
from the previous releases.
Right. So all of your catalogs and everything will stay exactly as they are through the upgrade. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. So these are the main features or updates we have in App Launchpad 2.1. And now I will dive into the demo.
Okay.
So right now I'm logged in as a provider administrator. So I'll first talk about the settings for the catalog visibility, because the push versus pull is not something that you can see in action, because it's just the way it's going to function this point on.
Yeah.
So if the experience is very seamless for a provider admin, where they can still publish unpublished catalogs, or you can add new applications, things like that. These all remain same. So in my use case, I am still I'm using a dedicated VCD. It's in private settings, so I don't have any public internet connections, and we'll see how to import an app.
Okay.
So in this example, I have existing catalog called VMs Bitnami, and then I can select the application. And let's pick up any application, and you can set this if you want. Yeah.
So that's actually now pulling from the actual cloud marketplace, those versions. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've selected the catalog you wanted to edit, and select then the applications you want to add to that catalog. Okay.
Yeah.
And the versions you want. All right.
Yep. So this catalog I have created after it is upgraded to, so my extension is freshly installed at 2.1 release. So this is already working on the new setting.
Okay.
But if I am upgrading, ideal way would be to create a new catalog on 2.1. So this, we can see that it's now synchronizing and importing the application that I added earlier. So once that is complete, we should be able to see that application. So I think we added.
Looks like it's pulling all of them there. Is that doing an update?
Yeah, I think it's synchronizing, and then it did a delta check, like what new applications we are adding to the existing catalog. And then I'm just adding that to my available list of apps.
Okay.
Okay. And the other setting I would want to show you is the catalog custom details field. So I already created something while I was playing around. So when I have added this, it says all details page. over here. So when I log into tenant admin role, it's going to actually show this on the application page. If you want, you can set it to all launch pages as well. So
that's more of a generic setting. It's not done per application.
Yeah, it's not per application, it's not per customer organization. So it's something that will appear on all the applications that we are publishing.
Okay. So right, I
Yeah.
thought it was be individual. So you can only have one either all details or all launch pages. That would be it for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one. So we looked at the push versus pull. Experience is seamless for that. We looked at the custom details field, and we can move on to the tenant portal, because that will also show us the tenant admin capabilities, and we'll look at the container deployment.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm logged in as a tenant admin user, and you can see I have a dashboard that's showing all the statistics. Right now I'm not running any applications, but if there are, it will show how many instances are running, which users are going to use most of the applications, and the runtime. So runtime can be adjusted for any period of timeline, and it's going to show us all the usage or runtime in terms of CPU.
So the numbers there where I'm seeing are yeah, if you go to 7 days, the consumption, what is the unit of consumption? Is it the application?
Earlier it was CPUs or memory, it would show. Okay, I think they changed. Okay, yeah.
So when I've got 48 on one day, I guess that's like running a lot of different applications. So it's the total hours of all applications running.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is the tenant admin portal for the usage and the consumption. The launched applications will show all the applications that are being deployed from the all the users in this place, and then you can simply filter out and check out any applications that the users have launched, and then you can relaunch that for your user as well. So tenant admin can look at all the usage, and then they don't need to navigate back and forth from the marketplace to launched applications to manage.
I see. So they can do some inline kind of management if one of their customers is having a challenge. They can relaunch the application for them. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. And the third one is the customization of the tenant portal. So now we can provide a banner, custom banner for App Launchpad, and custom text, and then they can also change the background color and the font color and everything. So you can
that's very cool.
preview it and then publish it. And these are the rights bundles for these capabilities, especially for the marketplace banner, are created separately. So provider can select to publish this to the tenant admin. So
I see. So the tenant admin could create their own appearance for their own organization.
Yeah. So now as an end user, I'm going to see only one thing as a marketplace. This is the only tile the end user is going to see.
Yeah.
So they can customize it. The other value add is that providers can select to publish this capability to tenant organizations. So if they would like to monetize on customizing the App Launchpad portal, they have an option to do it.
So they've got two options really. They can a provider could customize their own instance of marketplace for everyone, for globally, so all tenants see the same thing, or they could provide that to tenants so they could do their own customization. That's really cool. Yeah. Really nice and easy to see as well and use like that.
Yeah. So if I go, I'm back in the provider portal just to show you that. So we have these other entitlement over here, the ELP marketplace banner. as well as the ALP org matrix banner.
Mm.
So provider can select if they want to publish it to the customers.
Got it.
So provider can monetize if they want to based on
Yeah,
this.
I mean, you're basically giving the customer their own tenant app
Mm-hmm.
to make it look and feel their own, which is really
Yeah,
nice. Yeah.
exactly. So that's the these are the added capabilities for providers, and I'll again navigate back to I'll navigate back to the tenant portal. So now let's look at the tenant admin, the Kubernetes container automation. So in this example, I can see all the available applications that's available to me, and I can click on launch, and
Okay, there's your
so
banner.
here,
Yeah.
it's already here. So
Yeah.
because I set it to at the time of the launch, I can read it over here.
Yeah.
So provider can use it in multiple ways.
So you might want to, is that where they'd put a disclaimer then? I think that's probably what that sort of thing is for.
Yeah.
Some sort
So,
of licensing disclaimer and usage disclaimer. Yeah.
yeah. Or
Okay.
if it's on the display, okay, I'll navigate back to marketplace. If they set it to show it on the details page, it would be actually shown over here, additional tile about that description.
Okay.
So, and next one I would like to show you is the catalog filter.
Mm-hmm.
So if we navigate back to the App Launchpad marketplace, as an end user, you are going to look at this new catalog filter. So you can filter out based on the catalogs. So what will happen is if I'm in multi-site setting, you can have multiple catalogs listed by different locations.
Yeah.
And you can filter it by VM or container, and then only deploy apps based on your preferred catalog. So in my case, I have this Bitnami catalog for VMs only, so I can only see those over here. So it can be used in different ways.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
then it becomes a creative process of like what you name your catalog and then filter based on that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have generic filter here as always, but this is going to be very useful for all the users as well.
That's cool. So there's lots of really cool things there. I think it's going to take a little settling in my mind to work out, how you would best use those filters, for example, how you would best use the overlay descriptions and runtime descriptions. But that's some really kind of nice stuff, and I'm so glad to see the pull mechanism instead of the push. That's been asked for by virtually everyone, so that's fantastic. Sashi, any final words on AMP 2.1?
Yeah, it's not very feature heavy, as I said, but whatever feature we have introduced is definitely enhanced the experience of providers as well as users. So I'm pretty excited about this release.
Yeah, looks good. Looks good. I'm glad to see it seems to be a bit more robust this time, which is nice. Having sort of more kind of capability built into the existing platform itself. Sashi, as usual, thank you so much for your time today. It's been really interesting to see the new stuff in ALP 2.1, and I hope our partners enjoy all the capabilities it brings. Thanks a lot, Sashi.
Yeah, thank you.